It's that time of the year again, guys. We have reached the middle part of the year, and these are a few of my recommendations of the movies and television shows that I think have been the best of the year so far. Let's not waste any time, guys. Let's dive right in. The first thing I want to talk about is Dune Part 2. Now, Dune Part 2 is an absolute masterpiece. It's one of the best sequels I've ever watched, probably one of the best science fiction movies in history, one of the best movies in the past decade. It's an absolute masterpiece. Lisan El Gaib, Muad'Dib, giant sandworms, action sequences, Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet. It's incredible what Denis Villeneuve managed to achieve with this movie, guys. This is the one movie that you cannot afford to miss. It's number one on the list. It's at the top of the tree. It's the pinnacle. It's a must-watch movie. This movie actually reminds me of how I felt when I went to the movies and I watched Jurassic Park for the first time. It's like, it's a spectacle. It has that same vibe. That's why you cannot afford to miss this movie. And also I have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This was a surprise one. Wes Ball definitely delivered. It was difficult to follow up from what Matt Reeves did, and he managed to achieve that. Although I know this is not everybody's cup of tea, but it's definitely a movie that stands out from the crowd. VFX is on point, the performances, what a wonderful day. It's brilliant. You can't sleep on this movie. Definitely a must-watch movie. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. George Miller does it again. I mean, George Miller is an absolute genius. Nobody will ever understand this franchise like him. This is his baby. This is his passion project. And to come back with a prequel / spin-off and actually deliver, masterfully crafted. Anya Taylor-Joy was brilliant in this. Chris Hemsworth was over the top as the villain, Dementis. And I absolutely love this movie. Not for everyone, but definitely one that you can enjoy. Next up, we have Civil War, A24's big blockbuster, and Alex Garland returns with a much better movie than what he gave us on Men. Men wasn't for everyone, it was mid, but this is a great movie. It caused a lot of controversy, and it's still causing controversy. It's still at the center of a lot of conversations. I've definitely got my fair share of pushback because I talked about the movie. It's well executed. The movie itself is well executed. As for the subject matter, that is still up for debate, but in terms of a movie, it's a good movie. It's one of the best movies of the year so far, hands down. There's no denying that. The subject matter, that is another conversation. Another A24 movie that blew me away was Rose Glass delivering Love Lies Bleeding, starring Kristen Stewart. Now, this one blew me away. This one is an interesting movie. This one was incredible. I still can't wrap my head around what this movie actually is. You know, it has a lot of elements combined together. It's a Western, it's an 80s vintage movie, it's a body horror movie, drug addiction. It has a lot of elements, crime, you know. It's just an insane experience. It's one of those movies that you have to watch for yourself to understand what's actually happening here. It surprised the living daylights out of me. I wasn't that hyped for the movie, but when I actually watched it, I was like, wow, this is something different. And Rose Glass is definitely a director that you should keep your eye on. She's definitely one of the ones. She's heading that direction. Don't sleep on Rose Glass. Next up, we have Late Night with the Devil. Now, I'm not massive on horror. It's well documented. Okay, not documented, but I always talk about I don't love horror movies. I'm not a massive fan of horror movies, but this is one that, like, the aesthetic and the idea and the premise and the execution, everything just worked very well. It's one of those movies that when I was watching, it was almost like I'm watching something that I shouldn't be watching, because that is by design. They made this movie with that in mind, and it's definitely a movie you can't afford to miss. It's a vintage 80s horror classic. I can even call this movie a classic. I mean, you can see that it has a certain aesthetic based on classic movies and talk shows, and it just works very well. This movie surprised me, guys. I think it's brilliant. It's a great movie. Now, we have the dreaded month of January and February, where not a lot actually happens in terms of good movies. It's movie dump, the dumpster of movies. But in that time frame, we managed to get a great movie from Jason Statham. The Beekeeper definitely surprised me. I wasn't expecting The Beekeeper to be that good. Definitely surprised me. It's a movie that surprised me. The action is on point. The storyline is pretty simple, but it's one of those movies where you know exactly what to expect going in, but you enjoy the experience nonetheless. It's definitely one of the better action movies that have come out in a while. You know, you have this whole action, taking an old actor and putting him in an action movie. That is a whole genre on its own, I'm not gonna lie. But this is one of those moments where the movie definitely works. Definitely works. It was a brilliant movie, guys. Next up, we have Parachute. Now, this is a directorial debut by Brittany Snow, starring Courtney Eaton and Thomas Mann. And this movie absolutely blew me away. It's an indie movie. It came out by South by Southwest last year. It only had its release this year. It's about a young girl who suffers from an eating disorder and how she has to deal with that. You know, and it's a brilliant movie, guys. It's a must-watch movie. It's one of the movies that it drew me in immediately from the first frame, and it never let me go. There's so much weight and emotional depth, and it's a movie I can easily recommend this movie, guys. It's incredible. It's brilliant. Next up, we have Marmalade. Yes. Joe Keery and Aldous Hodge. Now, Marmalade is one of those surprise packages. The movie surprised me. I didn't have any expectations going in watching this movie. When I went in, I was like, this is not a quirky crime comedy. But the movie surprised me. There's a twist in the movie that I won't give away to you guys, but it just delivered something different. And the way the movie was crafted, I didn't even see that twist coming. It's hidden. It's right there in front of your eyes, but it's well done. Like, they just executed it brilliantly, and it's a surprise package. It's one of those movies that surprised me, and I can't speak highly enough about how great Marmalade is. Next up, we have Challenges. I enjoy Challenges, guys. Luca Guadagnino, I'm a massive fan. I spoke about this before. And Challenges is an exciting sports drama. You know, it's not very often where you can say a sports movie is exciting. You know, but the one aspect about this movie that elevated it above everything else is the fact that the performances were so good. The script was a pretty straightforward script. It's understandable. But the performances elevated the movie. So those are my recommendations, guys. You cannot sleep on these movies. This list of movies that I put together here, you can't afford to sleep on them. But now we get to television. I can't believe the level of quality of television that we got so early this year, guys. I mean, Shogun is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece of television. Season 1 was incredible. It's already been greenlit for season 2 and season 3. People are comparing it to Game of Thrones. I don't know about that, but all I know, it's I don't know about that, but all I know is it's a masterfully crafted television show. It's a masterpiece. It's one of the best television shows I've watched in a long time. It's that good. Do not sleep on Shogun. Next up, X-Men 97. Guys, I cannot stop thinking about X-Men 97. X-Men 97 just blew me away. It's one of the best television shows that I've ever watched. Not just because it's animated and I have such a passion and love for the original that I think it's that good. It's because it is that good. Not just as an animated show, but as a TV show in general. It's incredible. It's near perfection. That's how good that show is. Guys, these are the things that you need to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I could have added a few things in, like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I could have added in there by TV, and also you have The Night Country. So there are a few that I could have put on the list, but these are the ones that you can immediately go to watch, and you know you're gonna watch something of the highest quality. If you have a different recommendation, if you have a different list, please let me know, guys. I would love to know which of these movies or which movie this year did I miss out on. Which one was under my radar that I didn't get to. I'd love to know. Please let me know down below in the comment section, guys. Give me your list. I would like to know. But that's it for me, guys. This is just a quick recommendation of what I think has been the best of the year so far. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, guys. That's it for me. I will definitely catch you on the next video.